Hello everybody, today we're playing Standard Brawl with the Diamond Weapon. It's a 9 mana 8/8 legendary artifact creature in mono green and is an elemental. And it has, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each permanent card in your graveyard. It has reach and immune, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to Diamond Weapon. Diamond Weapon is a very fun commander. I believe it's one of the sleeper legendary commanders from the set. And hopefully I get to prove in this video how good this commander is. What makes it different from other discounted cards that have the very similar effect? There are quite a few in Mono Green, in Golgari especially, that get to cost 1 less for X card in your graveyard. Sometimes it's creatures, normally it's artifacts as well, but this one's special because it says permanent. Why does that matter? Normally, one of the big downsides of playing these type of mill decks for discount is you play a card that mills 5 cards, and then you just mill 5 lands, and you get no discount because they only consider creatures or artifacts. Diamond Weapon is permanent. So if you mill 5 lands, you still get the discount. So that means this commander, you can very consistently be able to cast him on 4, 3 mana, and in the late game 2 mana back to back. Why is that important? It is very common in this format, even in Standard Brawl, of an archetype I like to call Removal Tribal, which the only thing they do is just a bunch of removal spells. Half their library and more is just removal spells. They don't really have a legitimate win con, and they just perma remove a creature. Fortunately, Diamond Weapon will always be costing 2 because you can consistently mill many cards, especially as you're going to be milling lands, no problems. Diamond Weapon's going to keep costing 2 mana, even paying its commander tax very easily. So if your opponent removes it 3, 4 times, no problem. Just keep casting him over and over again. That's very powerful in this removal heavy meta. How are we going to get to consistently play the Diamond Weapon? We have 2 steps. First is we need to mill on the early game and hopefully have permanents. Permanents that mill. Why is that important? Because we care for permanents. We really, in this deck, do not want to play instant and sorcery. The sole instant and sorcery we're going to be playing is Nature's Rhythm, and it has synergy with our commander. Other than that sorcery spell, every single card in this list is a permanent, which is really important because when we're going to be surveilling, milling, we're going to be hitting a permanent. So in our first turns, we want to be surveilling or milling. That's where all these cards will help. Fortunately, Standard Brawl has enough, we've hit critical mass on enough creatures that mill to consistently be milling on our first turns and be casting Diamond Weapon in the mid game. And with the new set, and with the last set, we have new cards like Any Wayfarer from the previous set, and from Final Fantasy, we have one that mills 4, which is quite nice. And very importantly, a lot of these mill cards have it's a May ability to get the land into your hand. Sometimes, if we care about the discount more than the land, we can keep the land in the graveyard. We'll be able to cast our commander for cheap. As for new Final Fantasy cards that synergize with the Diamond Weapon, we have Summon Fenrir. It's a ramp spell. Later we can draw. Even itself, normally it's not uncommon for it to be tied with the highest health for Chapter 3 to draw a card. Summon Titan. Mills cards, and we can return all the lands into our battlefield, pretty much being a giant ramp turn. And summon Bahamut to be able to have interaction. One of the key things in Mono Green is to not neglect interaction, especially in the mid and late game. So how do we cleverly try to combine being aggressive and having removal combine them in creature form? Cityscape Leveler is a very good card, especially mono green, as it's aggressive with a giant creature and we get to interact every single turn. Ugin also is a great synergy with this deck, even though we don't have that many artifacts, because it only exiles if it is in colorless. for example, doesn't work with Skullspore Nexus, but it gives us life, which we really care about. It lets us draw. The initial turn we get to exile, and the +0 lets us ramp as well. So it has a great synergy in mono green. Other good cards would be Invasion of Ravnica with the Mightstone and Weakstone, paired with the Silex. These are good mid-game plans, as just removing their opponent's commander one turn is good enough to slow them down for us to play into our late game, because we do need to get to a point to interact with our opponent. And the reason we're playing Nature's Rhythm, it just has great synergy with our commander. It specifically costs 8, which matters quite a bit for its harmonized cost. If Nature's Rhythm gets milled, no worries, we get to play it for the harmonized cost, which is the cost we want to play in the first place. For just tapping 4 and tapping our commander, so our commander, even if it's in our command zone, we get to play for 2, so that means 6 mana, we can bring a Craterhoof, and that just wins a game. If the Craterhoof is a graveyard, we can get Cityscape Leveler, or we can get the Bahamut just to interact. So it has very good synergy with a deck like this. And finally, we have some late game plans as well. Now let's see how we do with the Diamond Weapon. Against Gonti. Alright, we had a good curve. I think I'll keep. I'm surveilling turn 1. Normally just a discard deck, sacrifice as well. I believe we are milling anything at this point, even a creature. A discount or commander. Do I want a land is the big question. I think I'm declining. Because I want my commander discounted. Next turn we summon Fenrir. Okay, Death Toucher. We can Weakstone the Revenant, or the Gontis that I don't know. We have a couple options. The Death Toucher, we mine more than the Gonti. I think I'm down with the Gonti. I get to do damage as well. Can Tyrant. So I need to start getting my health back. Does the in response kill it? Alright. Oh, it has to be not artifact. Are you an artifact? Yes. So what can we do? If we play you, we don't have 5. We play you, there is very likely we get to mill here. Let's do it. Get to mill 6. Yep. A lever out. Get the diamond weapon. He gets removed, it's fine. Get to play the other turn, we have another blocker. When are you nowhere you're running? It's a weird target. Why would he just want to play that? Okay, imagine he has a sacrifice spell. I mean, it's fine, but it's annoying. It is removal tribal. We are a little bit on the slow side. How many lands we have? We have 3, 4. I like the Titan. We can also leveler. Chilix would be a good draw here as well. Wouldn't be bad. So we have 6, 7. We can just play the Tyrant. It wouldn't be bad. If we did that, let's say we play the leveler. We'd have 1 more mana. We can play the Bestie as well. The leveler allows us to destroy that. We have no blockers. I don't think there's anything better than Irons. Gives us more life. If it dies, we can keep getting more creatures. We can play Thrun. Alright, 2 is fine. It just goes all in. Alright. Our value here. We can send this to our graveyard though. Or is it his? But I don't want to take the damage. Or greater. So right now I have 7 mana, 8. We're gonna need to try to set up a Crater Hoof turn. So let's get you down. I would also like to play you, and we have 2 mana left. That's true. Okay. Now we can go for a hit, even if that touches, not that bad. Gets rid of the death toucher, it's fine. This takes it. Do I want the patchwork or do I want the prowler? This is the more mana efficient one. So this is more stats. I think we're taking more stats here. Question, do we have the Crater Hoof in our graveyard? No. Interesting, these hits. This has reach, so I want to deal with him now. What benefits me? I believe this helps me more. Could be wrong. Yep, this goes back. He may have the crater hoof. They would have played it. Because we can tap, go for a hit here. That'd be 1. We can play 1 in case he draws he has the crater hoof in hand. I imagine that's one of the cards he drew. What is he targeting? The Titan? I don't think that's the best card. Alright. So I believe he does not have the crater hoof. I don't think we're milling here. Okay. I do want to play you. So we can go for 8. We need 4 mana here. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 mana. I'm gonna use 5, and do we have enough for the Nexus is what I'm thinking. Because if we pay you and tap, we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 mana. That is exactly Nexus and pay, right? This spent to cast. Does it activate you? Ooh. In case it doesn't work, I think we just do it like this. So we get 8. If we have crater hoof. We're gonna play the Nexus. He's not surviving this. The telltale he did not have crater hoof, he would have played it last turn. And we didn't mill it. So I knew I had it in my library. And from there on out is one of the reasons why we play Nature's Rhythm in the deck, even though it's not a permanent. We have the synergy with our commander, because our commander costs 8. That if we pay the Harmonize cost, we just need to cast 4, so we get a 4 mana crater hoof. If we pay 1, we can get the Bahamut. We can also get the Cityscape Leveler. And because we're a mill deck, it's not unlikely to have Nature's Rhythm milled. So we have many options to cast this, just one tutor. GG's. We're against Zurgo, but we have a ramp hand. We don't have a turn 2, unfortunately. Do we keep this hand? If Llanowar does not die, we have a good turn 3. If it dies, we're out of the game. Do we take the risk? This is a very risky hand. I think we have to mulligan. I think we mulligan. I think this is better. We can mill more consistently. The reason I did not like the first hand is if our elf gets removed, we just lose the game. And they are in 3 colors that removes elves. All 3 colors are pretty good at removing a 1-drop. Especially red. We can mill 3 cards, or we can mill 4. Artifact, creature, or land. There are some ramp spells on 3 I would like to play. So I think we play the Insight. Or the creature. We have 2 options. We can play the Analyst or Thrun. Are we planning to do something turn 3? I like the Thrun quite a bit. Difficult to interact. But we are very likely to get there. You play you're just a temporary blocker while you let's just ramp. And we have a play next turn. We could weak zone max zone his Zurgo if that's his only play. If he plays something else, we play Run. It's a bit susceptible to sacrifice spells. That's one of the reasons why we play the weak stone and night stone. -5. Let's see if he sends it to the graveyard. Zurgo likes to play reanimation spells. If he leaves in the graveyard, that means he has a cheap way to bring it back. Right, he doesn't. I would like to Ren next turn, so we can get a cheap commander. And I want to test the waters and force sacrifice spells. Throne is pretty much our backup plan. I do not want to play it first because there are many sacrifice spells. And it's one of our best blockers and pairs very nicely with the Nexus. Right. Land.
I must bend Realmbreaker. Nature has not abandoned me.
We have a play. We can risk the mill here, but we don't have... I don't think we need to. I just play our commander here. We have a backup next turn. We can play Ugin. And the Nexus, I believe. It's an artifact, yes. I don't know why.
I grant you a boon. I will not allow my progeny to continue their rap.
Did it drop?
Allies everywhere. Stand.
Attacks.
My plan bears.
Hey, you shouldn't transform the forest a bit to protect ourselves. It's fine. For we force interaction, if we just hit, they wouldn't have to work that much to destroy a creature. Bryn dies, but effectively healed us for 3. To the next chapter. So I could deal with War Effort or the Sharpshooter. Oh, really? Okay. Not bad at all. I like to minus here, but I do find the authority very annoying. Let's mill.
A small.
I like Vorinclex. Do I want the land? It's fine. I believe you have to play this tapped, which is fine. Okay, it has to be uncolored, right? Let's gain more mana. And I think we played Thorn here.
Essence of this world.
I'm playing the dragon here. The weird is... Oh, it has to be a colorless. Thought it was any artifact. Fine. We are hitting the opponent very hard next turn. There was an argument to play the Regent that heals us for 3. He has a couple ways to make tokens. So that's gonna be 2. Just face. Okay. Is he dead? This is 16. Because now we have to consider is, do we have lethal? This is the highest one we can put. So this is 16. Do we need the mana? Or I believe we just draw here.
Insight is vital to success.
No, doesn't matter. So I'm thinking, I don't think we need to think too much here at this regard. We can pay the 5 here, tap, we get 4. Okay, Ugin deals with you.
Heed my counsel.
We deal with you. Get our land.
Break free and fight!
It's down to 2. I have to pay this for 3, so let's get a picture. Down to 3, we have Ugin. Pretty low, but not enough. Next turn we absolutely beat him. That's the value of Ugin. Even though we don't have that many colorless spells, that +2 to gain 3 life and draw a card was very useful. And the value of Ren. Not only do we get to mill, but we get pick of the things we mill, we return. As we milled Ugin, but we get to bring it back. And GG's. Okay, against Atraxa, we got a good curve. I think it's a little bit late for the elf. We didn't get a land, but not bad. I guess we do hit here. Utopia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To get a land, which is nice. I wanna play the elf, you know, it die because of the graveyard. See what the opponent plays. We want to ramp to the leveler to deal with the Atraxa. Does it excel? This goes back. I want to recast it for 6. Tapped. Fortunately, that is still the play. Interesting. First it takes 7. Okay. Probably is gonna search for some board wipes, but we have the leveler here. We really don't want Sunfall. Let's see what he has. Ooh, Crater Hoof is very good. Is it better? I don't think it is better than just dealing with the Atraxa. Doesn't get 7 HP. We get to crew. I can hit for 8 with the leveler because I already have 8 lands. So in a board wipe, you would have to have a board wipe and blocker. He's trying to find for 4, right? Does it give extra mana? Yes, so he has 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not enough. He just gets leveled here. Yeah, good game. I got there. That's the power of ramping. I would say definitely for all those mono green decks, Lumbering World Wagon just did work. Helped us ramp there. Even though we milled pretty good creatures, the World Wagon was what pretty much kept us in the game, constantly pressuring our opponent and giving us land every single attack. And the synergy with the World Wagon with the Commander. Even though the Commander doesn't have haste, it could crew, pretty much can crew any vehicle. So even though the opponent was on repeat, killing our Commander, there was no problem. We were able to constantly recast them. GG's. Alright, Sheoldred is going to be a problem. We don't have... I do want to turn 1 or 2. Do we keep... Just we... I think we need at least a 2. Okay. I don't think we have time for the leveler. Elf. Oh, there's a perfect draw here. We get to... drop here. I think at this point I'm taking out this guy. Next turn we can Boring Clacks, that would give us lands. If the opponent wants to remove my Creature Saga. Okay. Let's play it. Pretty sure our opponent. We're gonna be drawing a lot of cards. Oh, just one? Oh, I thought it was more. I lied about drawing the cards. Another draw. I want those in the graveyard. Four, five, six, seven, eight. We can start dealing with that guy. Very annoying. Exiling cards from my graveyard. Interesting, I do want to trade. Do with you. Keep punching. You can mill. You can play our commander next turn. Who wants to play the 2 life and get very low. Also have a creature to sacrifice to the Sheoldred. Interesting. So he wants to do... Sure, that's perfect. Oh.
A fight? And you think you can win?
Interesting. If I have the leveler... I think the leveler goes. I believe that is lethal, right? Oh, I'm one off. Oh, that's sad. Okay. Can we go here and draw, or just deal with the Liliana? I don't really care for the Liliana. So let's just draw here. Will he block or go down to 1? Going down to 1 for them is risky. Alright. Ooh, I do like the wagon. Especially if he makes me exile. I can play it, crew it, give it trample. So even a Boroid doesn't save him. And next turn I'm in Leveler territory as well. And Tricky doesn't play all his cards. Okay. Okay, I would like to play you, but we don't have the mana yet. I believe you're fine. Let's put you here.
Lips touch every word. Allies everywhere. Stand with us.
Okay, we hit. Get an extra land. It's just lethal here. Doesn't have enough HP. And that's the value of this commander. We're able to win the war of attrition and just ramp it even with a slow hand. We did have the really good start with the elf. The elf did give us a very good early game. And the balance of early game against creatures, because everything are permanents, it makes just any mill discounts our commander, and we can get to critical mass to a point our commander constantly costs 2. So even against these type of decks that are perma removal, they're removal tribal, we're able to keep playing our commander. They need to advance their game plan as well. Well, we pretty much, it opens the way for our larger creatures to run, to just pressure our opponent. GG's. For the post-game wrap with the Dying Weapon, it's a pretty fun mono green commander. I really recommend it. I had a blast playing it. Pretty much in all my games felt I had a chance, which is pretty uncommon with any of the recent commanders. Is there are many games where it feels you're super behind. With a diamond weapon, it felt I always had a chance because I could always play my commander for cheap, and there are many good hits that can let me come back into the game. Even milling the nature rhythm at any time can mean I could tutor to an answer I needed. As for recommendations for the deck, I'd say core of the deck would be the mill package. If you want to craft a deck like this, this is the package that's the most important. Being able to mill consistently is very useful. I even had the sorcery spell that mills, or this is the 3-mana one, but I replaced it because Wasteful Harvest, it is not bad in a deck like this, but it's an instant, which if it's in your hand, it's great because you get to mill 5 and get a lot of value. But if this card gets milled, it doesn't discount your commander, and that one cost may be the difference between being able to play your commander the next turn. As for ramp, I recommend running ramp in artifact form with this deck because you want it to be a permanent. Avoid playing instant and sorceries. unless you absolutely need to. And I would say the most expensive cards would probably be your removal spells. I would say that's the highest priority in wild cards, even over the creatures, because these are the cards that will save you the game. Well, there are many replacements. You can run just any big creature you want. The advantage is these have high value. Of the creatures, I would say the Vaultborn Tyrant is probably the best one because it's synergized with our commander and we get to constantly heal. It has almost self-protection because it makes a token. It's a very annoying to deal with for the opponent, and just gaining that life will save you the game. For lands, it's just forest. I run the 2 surveillance, and normally 9 out of 10 times I would just surveil and send it to the graveyard because that's an immediate discount for our commander. And all in all, it's a pretty fun list. I strongly recommend either for Standard Brawl and for Brawl itself. They both work very fine. If you want to play an upgrade version for Brawl, I'll just add the entire Elf package with 1-drops, and for ramp spells, I'll run just more artifacts to be able to consistently ramp on turn 2, and a bit more of late game creatures. I'll run all the creatures that fight. So there's the Mammoth and Kogla. I'll run those. Those would be, and maybe more Planeswalkers because they have interaction. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment below which other commanders would you like me to play. Thanks for watching.